In this video, we want to go through and start working on the logic of getting the zombies to try to go inside. So we need to start kind of reworking the flow of the barricade a little bit. So what I mean is currently we have the zombies that go through. They will try to break down, all the boards and all that stuff. And once they do, they're going to do one more sweep, which we need to get rid of. They are going to basically just stand there. And after a certain amount of time has elapsed, they go and try to find, the closest player to attack them because this state, or this tree, however, has, completed. So we want to rework that. So basically, what we want to have happen is where we end this, remove/attack barricade ability, we want to end it when this, barricade, what do you call it? Barricade broken basically has occurred. So the way we're going to go about doing that is simply by having a dedicated gameplay event. So that we're going to send to all the zombies. So currently, if we look at breakboard, we are doing that. However, we're sending a state tree event instead, which is telling the zombies, hey, I want to try to enter this, enter the barricade, which is what we don't actually want. We instead want to rework this logic to where we send that gameplay event to all the zombies, and then we go through in a looping fashion, basically iterating over each zombie after, say, I don't know, one every other second or something like that, and tell them to try to enter the barricade. So we're going to work on that. So to begin, we do have our, our state tree event. That's good. We want that, but we're going to comment it out for now. Instead, we're going to replace it with a U ability system blueprint library, send gameplay event to actor, with the actor being position dot zombie. And then we need a tag. So also make sure you include it. The ability system blueprint library up there as well. So we need a tag. So let's go to core module, data, tags, gameplay event tags. And this one's going to basically tell the zombie that the barricade has been broken. So zombie underscore, let's do a barricade broken. Let's go to the implementation, do the same thing, and there we go. So now under barricade.cpp, we want the tag underscore gameplay event underscore zombie barricade broken. That's going to be our tag. Then we don't really have a gameplay event, so a payload. So let's just create a new f gameplay event data. And there we go. So now we just have to make sure we include the corresponding data tags, gameplay event tags.h. All right, so this should be used to end the ability right as the barricade has been basically broken. So let's go ahead, close down the editor, recompile, and relaunch. Okay, once we are back in the editor, let's go ahead and in our attack barricade ability, we want another gameplay event. So let's do a wait gameplay event. And the tag is going to instead be zombie barricade broken. And when that happens, we just want to end the ability. So now we shouldn't see the zombies do that last, final hit. So if you recall, after all the boards have been broken, they would do 1, 2, 3, basically attacking. Now they no longer do the attack. That board kind of freaked out. So that's another benefit of this. And probably not the worst idea to maybe add some sort of delay to it. So we could add a delay before it. We could have a delay in the barricade that we notify, use to notify the zombies. It's kind of whatever we want, but that's all going to be when we go to kind of clean things up. So we notify all the zombies that they have broken the barricade, so they end their ability, and that's good. So now we want to kind of one by one tell them to go to a specific position. And that way, they can essentially, I guess you could say more or less, go to the start position of entering the barricade and trigger some sort of, say, maybe an ability, or I don't exactly know how I want to do this yet, that is going to trigger them to quote unquote vault, because I don't know how I'm going to actually do that yet, through the barricade. So to begin, let's go ahead and go to our logic here. So we're iterating over all the zombies. That's good. We want to do this, but we don't want to do it, how you could say, all at the same time. I kind of want to do like a one after the other. So the way we can do this is, well, through I guess a couple ways more or less. So let's first off go ahead and we'll simply do a timer. So get world timer manager. We want to set timer. And we need to know about the corresponding timer handle. So let's go up to the header and let's make a F timer handle. This will be the T zombie enter barricade handle. And we also want a int32 enter barricade index. So let's throw the handle in there. Then we can go ahead and just be lazy. We'll do a lambda. And let's see, how often do we want to actually do it? So I'd say we'll do 2 seconds, and then true for looping. And then what we want to do is basically use this index to index into, well, this here. So basically, we want to do a do while. Okay, that like auto-filled weirdly weird when I typed in do. And basically the condition is going to be, we want to do this while the enter barricade index is less than the zombie positions.num. So that way, if we go through, all of them, we essentially want to, I guess you could say, end this entirely. And the other option is we want to start at the index that we are currently on. So what I mean is we need to access a F zombie barricade position equals zombie positions at the index of enter barricade index. Oh, sorry. Once we have the position, we can basically do our check. So if the given position has a valid zombie, then we want to do something. And then regardless, we want to increment the enter barricade index. Now at the same time, I also, before we do any of this, want to set the enter barricade index to equal 0. So that way, every time we run through this, we more or less start from scratch. So if we have a valid zombie, we want to grab their AI controller so we can get the state tree component. And then we want to send a state tree event, which is the barricade enterable. Now we're likely going to want to change this up a bit because barricade enterable doesn't really mean what it meant in one of the previous videos. So let's fix these up. They just need to be using the arrow operator instead. And yeah. So every 2 seconds, we should be notifying the zombie that we have basically hit something. Or not hit something, but I can't think of the word. Done, notify them that they should enter the barricade, basically. So we're running this do while. And once we have reached the end, we basically stop. So once we have hit, we found a valid one, we want to simply break. And that should jump out of the loop. Oh, yeah, we'll leave. Where do I want to increment this at? We'll set it to index none here. So that way we start at -1 and work our way up. because we're going to increment it at the top. So we start out at -1, we go to 0, do our check, and we're basically looping through, and until we find a valid zombie, we're going to be running this. So once we have gone through, and basically, I guess, what do you call it? This enter barricade index has been completed, we can go through and kind of, I guess, stop the timer. So we'll just do a comment of stop timer if enter, well, yeah, this, basically. Okay, so that should, in theory, do what we want. So now we just have to basically tell the zombies, okay, go to this position once you have received this event. All right, once we're back in the editor, let's go back here, and we're still listening for this enter barricade, which right now is just running a delay. Let's just make it run forever so it never actually ends. And let's add a move to task for testing. So this move to task, they're going to move to this barricade. So let's just move that and copy its location. Paste that to the destination, and in theory, once they have broken the barricade, they should try to move to it. Okay, so we have one Mississippi 2, then we have another, then we should have another, then another, and there we go. And we have ran out of bounds. So I believe we accessed, yep, we went to a invalid index. All right, so probably not the best idea to, so we're gonna have to refactor this quite a bit, but for now, that's at least in, and I guess you could say testable, because that's really the only thing I'm caring about at the moment. So I'm actually gonna leave it, not too concerned about it, but basically we're going to want to go through, and I cannot think of the word, to do something. Actually, we could just change that up to a while loop instead, given the setup that we have, which would probably not be a bad idea. But anyways, so now that we have it set up to where they've moved to a position, we need to make it to where once they have reached that position, which will be triggered by this barricade being, this state being completed, they need to try to enter it. So we want to rename this from enter barricade to, let's do go to barricade enter position. We're going to use that instead. So we're going to likely want to do some renaming here because we have barricade enterable, so that way it's a little bit more clear. So basically, yeah, let's actually just rename that tag. So pretty much once the barricade has been broken, we're going to tell them to move to that barricade enterable position, basically. So we need to change the corresponding barricade enterable tag to event underscore, let's do move to barricade enter. Actually, do we even need that? Because we have a corresponding go to barricade position or new barricade position that we can use, which is this event here. However, that runs the go to barricade slot. So yeah, we're going to need to make a new one. So let's do move to barricade enter position instead. Make sure to do that in the header and CPP. So now in barricade.cpp, we're going to be passing through the move to barricade enter position, and we also are going to want to tell it what that position is. So the way we can go about doing that is, honestly, we could just have another zombie barricade position. I'm not too overly concerned about it. But in our case, let's just, because I like the idea of having let me find it, the vector not having to be split into X, Y, and Z. I kind of want to go ahead and just make my own structure. So let's just make a new one. And we will call it F zombie enter barricade position. And realistically, we just need a location, and I guess world location is actually all we need. I can't really think of anything else. So let's go ahead and go down here. We have our zombie positions. Let's also have our zombie enter barricade position too. So once we have that, let's go to our barricade.cpp, go to the begin play, and in begin play, we're looping over the zombie positions and updating their world position. We want to do the same thing. So zombie enter barricade position dot world location equals basically this. So equals transform location, zombie enter barricade position dot location, which is the local position, and we just want it in world space. And I also want to actually add this to debug so we can visually see it. So in our tick, we are going through all the zombie positions. Let's just copy, I guess, this draw debug sphere logic here and paste it. And this is going to be the zombie enter barricade position dot world location. And for the color, we want to do F color. Let's do, see, we're doing blue, green, and red. We can do, I guess, yellow. Or, yeah, maybe white be more visible in this case. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, so we have our, our color there. We have our drawing. So I'd say we are good to go to give it a try. Let's go ahead, close this down, recompile and relaunch, get our enter position set up, and then we can go through and send that enter position along. So let's go down while we're at it to the break board, and we are sending a state tree event. And in our case, we can simply, what was it called? It was make instance struct. We can pass make instance struct along with it. And the struct we want to add or pass through is going to be the zombie enter barricade position. And that's basically it. So we're just passing that along that we made. So now we want to go to our barricade, go to the zombie enter barricade position. I'm actually going to copy the first one. So that's 50 units back. And I don't want it to be 50 units. Let's do 20. So let's see roughly what that looks like. So we have it right there. So that might be a little bit, well, actually, I feel like we should move these back some. But we have that position. Let's do 40. And there we kind of go. So we at least have that position. So for the, again, the sake of testing, we want it to be far away so we can watch them move. So let's do something like 1000. And that puts it back here. So once they're done breaking, we want them to move to that position. And that's what we're going to do in the next video, is to get that part set up. So the barricade can basically just tell the zombies, okay, all the boards have been broken, and in order, go to this position. So that way, once they go to that enter position and this is successful, we can then call or go to the enter barricade state that we need to make, which will trigger them to literally just vault into the barricade. And then the only way to have them come out of that state is by receiving one of these go to barricade slot events. And that should kind of more or less undo this here, because they're then going to go back to the go to barricade slot, such as when the player has rebuilt the barricade, for example. But might be a little bit to digest. Not sure how well I went over this one, but I will see you in the next one. If you like what I'm doing and you want to help support me, you can find a link to my Patreon in the description below, where you can also get early access to this entire series.